Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to another wonderful farm by Old Rusty. Shroomlights. Again, because reasons, I made it better. Let's go over this. So I'm once again at world height in order to limit my tree growth. So my previous farms, they were focused more on fungus efficiency and bone meal and trying to save out on TNT. And, well, I just decided let's go high octane here, and we're just tossing all that responsible efficiency out the window. I want as many shroomlights as possible. And I've got it to a shulker an hour of shroomlights. That is 27 stacks, 1,724 per hour with shroomlights. And what is it going to cost you? 9 stacks of TNT per hour, and about 6,500 bone meal an hour. If only we had gunpowder farms, sand farms, and bone meal farms that could make that much. I know 6,500 bone meal is a lot, unless you build a fish farm by Silent Whisperer, and then you're going to get 22,000. So again, we're good. I don't care about bone meal efficiency anymore. I don't care about TNT. I want lights. I want this light, and I'm going to have it, which means I need a lot of fungus and a lot of TNT. So what's going on here is simple. If you recall from my previous videos concerning shroomlights, the most likely place that a shroomlight is going to grow is around the center stem. And between Y levels 13 and 4, as where you place the fungus, is what's going to determine that. Now, if you break this down further, the corner pieces actually have slightly better odds of growing some shroomlights. Now, before, I was harvesting as much as this is possible. But I wanted to just go all out and let's just make this farm fast. So there's no minecart at all. All I have being triggered here, again, the netherrack regeneration system by Groova Guys is original farm. Fantastic design. I'm never moving away from this. It works perfectly. Is I have 2 dispensers here running off of a comparator clock. Kind of just going back in there. And I have it running up around into a solid block, so I'm ticking both of these at the same time. I will take the reading with this comparator of that dispenser when a fungus forms, or when the fungus grows into nothing. When it grows, it'll trigger the farm. This comparator will send out a signal into this block right here. My dropper keeps throwing me more of the little fungus to keep growing for hours and hours and hours. And then I have it running around over here to a repeater set to 3-tick delay. This is to delay that piston extending and retracting long enough for the rest of my system to reset. I have another repeater right here. This 1-tick repeater is to boost my signal and run it up. What that does is I glass it around to both sides here to do the usual redstone sticky piston. And what this does is 2 things. One, in my center one, it just runs it straight up and then triggers my 4 pistons here and it pushes them out. Now to get these other ones out, I have a wall of sticky pistons that extended. When the system fires, it'll contract, which will result in this redstone lamp turning off. That's 1 tick. The gate observer is my 2nd tick, and that is enough delay that it will then automatically push out these other blocks in these 2 back corners, and then the system will reset. As soon as these sticky pistons extend again, at the same tick, my other piston down there has pushed out the wood and made the way clear so I can plant another fungus. And then it just gets pushed out here. I'm at world height because I want maximum efficiency, so I don't have time for any of those silly trees. So if you pay attention, I've gone and placed my planting platform is at, I'm standing on 302. I plant my fungus at layer 303. That is right there. I'm sorry, that's 304. Because my fungus, nope, fungus among us. That's the problem with world height. You fall a lot. Here's where my you want your nylium to be at 303, so that when you plant, your fungus it's at 304. And you stand at 302. Layer 303 is the nylium, and then 304 is where the fungus goes. And what that does enough is if we go up here, it's cutting off all those larger tree growths. Now there is a little bit of room here, 2 blocks for them to keep growing. Why do I have that? Because I don't want to cut it off right at the I want a little bit more so that when I do get those big trees growing, I'll get more fungus down here. The net result of all of this is the shroomlights, 1,700 an hour. Now, this leaves 2 problems. Dealing with the mess, and also the fact that I am still making 1 stem here every time I plant. So what I've done is I loop this around and push this up. And all I need to do is have a pusher here running on 2. Or just 2 pistons to push this block stream over in here. Again, I have a red torch hitting a repeater, and then this instantly does this with no delay, so everything just works itself right through. I've ran this farm for several hours, and I've had, at one point, I had 1 stem exactly make it past this point. We're good. It feeds it out over here. Don't worry, it's not going to make it much farther than this. Up here at the very top, at 320, are 2 chests full of TNT going into these droppers. When it activates, it spits them out, and they land. One lands here, and the other lands here. It's over. This one's up higher at top, is further away, so that it collects these, but then when it blows out my shroom blocks, my wart blocks, and my shroomlights up here, I want this one to be further back so it's not landing on anything. The explosion here can still sometimes even affect all the way back to this far. So I just have slabs with running water, and then it just pushes it out. Apparently I need to mess with that more. In any event, I will very occasionally have some blocks land on here, and they're gone. That's okay. These up here, when these get blown up, they're either going to fall in, or they're going to stay up here and get destroyed the next TNT cycle. I don't care about this wood. This wood doesn't matter. If you are using this farm to make wood, please don't. Like, there's so many better ways. Go build any other huge nether tree farm to get wood. This is a byproduct. What the net result of all of this is an amount of blocks flowing through, because there are so much wart blocks that come out of this farm that a hopper line can't keep up. My double speed hopper line got backed up. So instead, I have it all packed ice running down here. Have it do a left turn at 90-degree left turn. The chest is to line them up right. And then I've got 6 item filters here so that I can pull out all those wart blocks for composting, because what else am I going to do with those wart blocks? And then everything else is just going to come in here. I'm going to get wood. I'm going to get lights. Now, the copper bulbs here, I've got 3 of them. With no copper bulb, this would fire off once every time. With 0 copper bulbs, this would fire off every single tree growth. With 1, it'll fire off 2. Each copper bulb doubles that, so this copper bulb would be every 4 times. Well, turns out I can get away with this only firing once every 8 times, because otherwise I would be going through 72 stacks of TNT an hour. That's not worth it, but 9 is. 9 definitely is. And so I've already got this primed, and I've grown my fungus 7 times, and this is what happens on time number 8. We're going to fire the farm off. You see what I did there? It's going to fire off the TNT, break everything. Oh no, I had some wart blocks land. I don't care about those. Everything else goes through, and then it gets filtered out. And then right here, whatever's left over. And to show you how fast this farm is, I have maximized planting and growth speed at the cost of any semblance of sanity or efficiency. And this is basically how fast I'm planting. Now, sometimes they may take a little longer to grow. That's why I have 2 dispensers there. And that's it. A whole lot of obsidian going all the way up so I catch everything. pushing these blocks into the side and doubling them up so that they don't get in the way, and this is the right amount so that I can fire it off 8 times. These blocks here never quite reach the end where the obsidian is, and then it just keeps collecting. 27 stacks of shroomlights an hour at the cost of 9 stacks of TNT and 6,500 bone meal. Built at world height to limit your growth as much as to get rid of those big annoying ugly trees. I've been working on this for a little bit, and this is probably the simplest, most compact one I've ever built, and it is the fastest. And it's a hog. It's not like as bad as the gas blaster, but I didn't have 100% TNT drop then, so here you go. Shroomlight version, who knows? I'll probably mess with them again in the future because I just keep squeezing better rates, but I mean, at this point, it's a shulker. What am I going to do with a shulker of shroomlights? What aren't you going to do with a shulker of shroomlights? Because here's the thing, frog lights, they're terrible. Who cares about frogs and magma cubes? Oh, I can make sea lanterns. Sea lanterns are bad too. I like copper bulbs, they're nice, but you know what? They're not shroom. Look at this. This is my second favorite block in the game, but this one's the best. A shulker an hour, and all you gotta do is go to world height, get some redstone, some pistons and sticky pistons, mess with timing a little bit, get 2 redstone lamps and observer, and then, you know, blow all this up a bunch. You're gonna need a gunpowder farm, you're gonna need to go to a desert or do something, and you're gonna need a bone meal farm to run this thing. But you know what? Nobody ever said Shroomlights was it's not an early farm game. You're not like, day one, I gotta make myself some Shroomlights. I wish you could, but no, you need bone meal first. Go build one. Get some bones. Get some bone meal. Get a gunpowder farm going. Get a lot of TNT built up. And then sit here and bask in the glory of sweet, sweet Shroomlights. It's an entire shulker an hour of this stuff. You may not use it, but I do. Old Rusty out!